the last Thursday night in August. Whoa.
Wait, what's
Doesn't mean anything. But this guy, I watched this guy blossom as a comedian. You will see it before your very eyes. Give it up for Mr. Steve Ballow.
Really botched that handle. What was that about the last week? You know, because now is the time, late August. Let me take the mask off. Oh, works much better. Now is the time, late August, where they start to really ramp up the Halloween stuff, and it's pretty disgusting. Have you noticed that? Like, get ready. I'm not even doing any Halloween bits. We got months of that ahead of us. No, let's just go right to it. So last night, Gladys was telling us where she's from, and it was called Hoe Avenue in the Bronx. Now, I thought this was a euphemism, like they say, you know, ladies of the South Bronx, but, you know, interpretation. But, like, I looked it up, and Hoe Avenue is a real place. And, you know, the Bronx has some of the most interesting street names. Like, my favorite of all time is Featherbed Lane. Like, in the Bronx, have you ever seen it? It's like, there's like 10 houses on it. It's deep in the South Bronx. It's not a place you want to go, but it's called Featherbed Lane. And then there's this other street, Hoe Avenue. So when you throw Hoe Avenue into the Google, you come up with the Gang Peace Summit of 1971. So you know, just a little to describe this neighborhood as a place where one time 70 gang members came together for a peace summit. So it's like, that doesn't sound like anywhere I'd want to be. In fact, it sounds like the plot of the movie The Warriors, to be honest. But if you're in the Bronx, I think it should go on any New York City tourist like top 10 list of places to visit is the guy on the Bruckner Expressway that sells watermelons. My dad has said this guy has been there since the early 1980s, and no matter what. Today was a hot day, and I passed by, I said, oh my God, I didn't see him, COVID must have got him, and then, oh, no, that's the only 60-year-old truck I can see on the highway, and bam, fresh watermelons for sale. I don't know if it's the same guy, I don't know if it's the same melons, but, you know, either way, it sounds like it should be someplace that you want to go on that next level New York City tour, like Brooklyn, the guy that sells the watermelon in the Bronx, you know, maybe East New York, exotic sites. But, you know, another thing, it's starting to get out of hand. You can see it a little now. My hair is like a soccer player, and you know, I'm not doing it for the look. It's actually a complex form of protest against the high prices of men's haircuts. I mean, are they going to get $20 from me? No, I haven't had a haircut in 16 months, but, you know, it's not great. It's definitely not great. If I had the choice, I'd say, you know, if it all fell out now, you know, that wouldn't be the worst thing. Because it is hard to deal with. Like, I understand why most men don't have long hair. We want to be in the shower, and we want to have our hair cleaned in 45 seconds. Now, with long hair, you gotta comb out the dead hair, and it's like, oh, I might as well just get a cat at this point if I'm going to pull out his hair. Put it out, and then it's, you know, 20 minutes in the shower if you want to make it look good. And now it's just clean. Like, you know, some men barely even comb their hair. And now, you know, I have to deal with it. And there's not many options. Like, women have all options they can do with their hair. If you're a man with long hair, basically for my office job, the soccer player bun is about as interesting as I could get with it. And, you know, if you are a guy that woke up every morning and gave yourself a French braid, then everyone would talk about you as the guy that wakes up every morning and gives himself a French braid. So that's out of the question. But one thing that would absolutely work for me, and I've had it before when I went on vacation, is cornrows. And then the only problem would be the sunburn in between the rows. But I suppose if I was bald, I'd have that same problem. So that's how it is. Lately, I found that I can't watch scripted television anymore. Like, I feel like they're just catering to the lowest common denominator. So I thought to myself, why don't I just go where all those denominators exist on reality TV? So I watch a lot of reality TV, and there's some strange stuff out there. But you know it's true. You know it's all real because they're not going to bring 50 tons of garbage to some random house in Oregon just to make a fake Hoarders episode. Like, it's just not happening. It's a real show on television. But another show, I've recently been obsessed with dating shows, and they've had the decline in quality from like The Bachelor, where it was like, ooh, in the dating game, even with that guy. But, you know, they slide today, and there's a show, I swear to God this is the name, F-Boy Island. I'll save myself a few swears, but that's the name of it. It's called. So it's a dating show with 3 women and 24 men. So the women have to pick between nice guys and F-boys. And it's so funny because it's clear to anyone who's watching the show that, you know, you have the nice guys. They're made up of people who are Olympians, the doctors with multiple offices in Hollywood, like investment bankers. And then they go to the F-boys. And the F-boys look like Sigma Tau fraternity or whatever bullshit, and they have jobs like Bitcoin investor and like fitness influencer. And the women go to the dating show and they have to try and eliminate the F-boys because at the end, if they choose a fuckboy, he gets to keep the money, whereas if they choose a nice guy, they get to keep the money. And you would think, you know, halfway through they told them who the guys were, who's the F-boy and who's the nice guy, and the women still had like trouble choosing. They're like, you know, it came down to the end and Sarah's like, you know, I picked Garrett. And then they go to Garrett. He's the F-boy. And he's like, well, you know, Sarah, I just don't think this relationship is going in the right direction. And I just think that we're not right for each other. So I'm just going to take the money. And it just makes me think of an old Mark Twain quote. Is that, you know, it's much easier to fool someone than to let them know that they've been fooled. So thanks, everybody.
Ballow, and his beautiful chef wife. She's making sweets from coast to coast. There you go. I've been shipping Levain cookies to try to have people like me more. If you ship them on Monday, it's only like $7.